Welcome back to the series of 3 habits of highly successful Muslims. The clear objective and intent of these short videos is to review a great character in Islam, someone forgotten, yet their great contribution on Muslims and even on the world sometimes is radiant even today in our time.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, فَقَصُصَ الْقَصَصَ لَعَلَّهُمْ يَتَفَكَّرُونَ. So relate the story, perchance they may reflect. Therefore, we will obey and consider these lessons as guidance. In these series and the upcoming ones, we will review those great Muslim heroes across time, analyze their circumstances and their situations, what made them great, how they achieved their goals and dreams. We will reflect, we will ponder and reflect how we can also become as great. I'd like to remind everyone that the heroes that I will be introducing to you, they are not the most known ones in the Muslim history. Nonetheless, their impact is felt on humanity, on Muslims, and on humanity as a whole, even until today. Our character we are going to discuss today is a great hero. I think of him as a person who shares some of the commonalities and attributes and characteristics as the great second Khalifa Amir al-Mu'mineen Umar ibn al-Khattab, a person who as soon as he learned about the truth, he changed the course of his own life, everybody around him, his own tribe, his own people, and changes the course of history. A person who has very clear delineation between right and wrong, black and white. I'm actually shocked and saddened that a lot of us don't know who that person is. When you even look him up on Google, you don't find a lot about him. However, I think we should all know him. We should all remember him and celebrate him. Baraka Khan, Ibn Jushi, Ibn Jenkins Khan. So why was he so great? What's his story? Jenkins Khan has 4 sons. The oldest his name was Joshi. As it was known in a tradition, Joshi, because Joshi was the oldest son, he would be the successor to Genghis Khan. And Joshi had a little bit of ambition. He wanted that time to pass pretty quickly, and he started to act as he was the great Khan. Genghis actually secretly orders the death of his own son, and he kills Joshi. So it was also it was also known that Joshi has married a Muslim woman. Her name is Risala. Risala bint Khawarizm Shah. Of course, the marriage was unlawful and batil because he was a kafir and she was a Muslim, but she was forced into it because she was captured after her father's death and killed in a fight against the Tatar. Also, Risala was a sister of Galal ad-Din Mankabarti, who was the last Khawarizm Sultan. Risala stayed true to her religion, to Islam, even though she was forced into this relationship of marriage that she was not approving. However, she raised all of her 7 sons to become influenced by her own belief. And it was very evident that actually the reason why um, Barka Khan and his son, some of them actually become Muslim over time, is because of his mother. It was also said that I don't think, and I don't know if this is true, that the reason why Genghis Khan killed Joshi is because he started to believe in Islam and he started to act that way. But that's not proven. So, what happened next is Baraka Khan has 7 brothers. He was the fourth in ranking or age. His older son, his name is Batu. I know some of those names is very strange, but um, we'll get used to it. So Batu would be inheriting his father, the ruleship of the Golden Herd. His father is Joshi. And the Golden Herd actually was called Golden Herd because it was a great tribe and it was due to this accident, quote unquote, of the kill of Joshi they would get one third of the booty of the war. So therefore, they were rich, they were very influential, and Jochi's seven sons would have a prominent role and figure to play because of the death of their father to come over time. Um, Mango ibn Tulun becomes the great Khan, and it happened that he becomes a great Khan by the help of Batu and his brother Baraka Khan. And time goes on where now Hulaku in 1250, between 50 and 60, before 60, he wanted to attack um, Baghdad. And uh, the Golden Horde was actually a very good, uh, had a very good relationship with the Muslims, had a very good relationship with Baghdad and the Khalifah of Baghdad. And Batu and Baraka Khan actually get together, and Baraka Khan tells Batu, well, we actually helped to drive um, Mongo ibn Tolon to become the Khan, and what does he return, in return? What does he do? He tries to attack, have Hulagu attack Baghdad and the Khalifa, uh, where he knows that we have peace with them, and we have messengers back and forth, and we have good ties and relationship with them. So is that how he rewards us? So Batu sends a very strong message to Mongo, the great Khan, that he needs to stop this madness and stop Hulaku. Actually, therefore, it was actually a very good, strong message, which actually forced Mongo to stop the madness and reminded him that it wasn't, if it wasn't for him, if it wasn't for them, the Golden Horde and their leaders, Batu and Baraka Khan, he would have not been the great Khan. So they deserve better than that, and therefore that fight actually stopped. However, time goes on, and Batu dies in 1250. His son took over for a very short time until about 3 years. 1253, luck would have it that Baraka Khan actually takes the leadership because he was the most qualified, and now he becomes the the Lord of the Golden Horde, which is, as I said earlier, a very large tribe that rules the northern kingdom of Tatar. Baraka Khan, during his return from the capital, and God would have it, he meets by the qadr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the grace and good fortune, he meets a scholar. His name is Najmuddin Mukhtar Az-Zahidi. So it was a great meeting where Baraka Khan sits with him and asks him, explain to me certain things about Islam. And he sat down and asked questions. He was very, very tuned in, listening to the answers. And his heart was opened up to Islam and actually asked the scholar Najmuddin Mukhtar to write a prescribed book that proves Islam right and disproves the religion, the aqidah of the Tatar that was based on tathlith and other things, and a combination of so many different religions that actually made no absolute sense to him and to anybody, and said to the Najmuddin Mukhtar to write a book for him that he could take back to his own people and convince them. And actually, he did that. He took the book, he went back, and he started to express his own religion to everybody openly. And he said, I became a Muslim, and he built his capital that way, filled with mosques and hammams and by the grace of Allah, the Golden Herd started to all convert to Islam over time, which was a great victory to us. And um, Sarav, or now it's Saratov, becomes a place of a capital of the Golden Herd and is built with all the rituals, mosques, and Islam spreads from there. You see, right before Baraka Khan became uh, the leader of the Golden Horde tribe, Hulako took the advantage when Batu died, and his son took over. He took the advantage of that time and actually attacked Baghdad and sacked Baghdad, killed millions of Muslims, slaughtered them by the thousands, children, women, um, older. Tatar actually burned and destroyed the capital of Baghdad. Wealth of information, books were thrown in a river, Euphrates River, and the civilization of the Muslims, it was actually come to a huge halt. As a matter of fact, I would believe that Baghdad would have never recovered from this destruction in the last 900 years. But Baraka Khan took it upon himself to help defeat Hulaku and revenge for his brothers and fellow Muslims who were slaughtered. And he vowed to do that with the help of Zahir Babers. You see, in 1258, the Mongol actually suffered a huge defeat at Ain Galut in Egypt, northern Egypt, in would be Palestine today, southern of Syria. They were defeated in Ain Galut, which was by the another great hero of Islam, Saifuddin Qutuz, and famous Zahir Babers. Babers becomes a very good colleague and a friend of Baraka Khan, and they start to send messengers among the two. Open communication channels were open up, and they decided to get together. And it was actually the plan was actually driven by Baraka Khan, who a person once the fog is cleared knows the right from wrong. He says to Zahar Bibers, we need to avenge our brothers and sisters, and we need to kill Hulaku. So therefore, they actually go on a mission to do that. Well, what happened was, at the time of 1258 at Ain Galut, Baraka Khan's created a fitna sort of between the two people that were competing for the throne of the Mongol. At the same time, Hulaku realizes that he's going to this war with Egypt in Ain Galut, yet if he remains, he may lose, and he wants to become the next great Khan. So he decides to leave uh, the lead of the army to Kadbura and then runs back to the capital to try to fix this issue. So that actually weakens the army, and it actually was resulted in 1258, Ain Galut's huge victory, and they slaughtered and killed every single person in this battle. The Muslims did, with the leadership of Bibers and Saifuddin Qutuz, rahimahullah. So it was actually by the help of Baraka Khan in the background. Nobody knows this, but Baraka Khan was doing his thing and created this whole fitna, which led to break of the army, and Hulaku returned to the capital. Now, once Hulaku returned to the capital, he started to pick a fight with Baraka Khan, and Baraka Khan actually initiated this by sending his messengers to Hulaku very strong and harsh words about his right to the third of the booties that actually he was not getting, his fair share, and those messengers were talking condescending way to Hulaku, who actually got very furious and vicious and killed those messengers and decided that he would go to war against Baraka Khan. And that war broke out, remains runs of about 3 years, back and forth a couple times, which actually ended in killing of Hulaku's son and complete annihilation and defeat of Hulaku. And he goes mad, he loses his mind, he dies in 1263, and Baraka Khan dies right after that, but he dies victorious. He died after expanding the Muslim Golden Horde, winning the war and expanding Islam and changing the fate of the Tatar forever. They become Muslims, they carry the torch, and they become great Muslim people until now. You too can become a great Muslim leader. You too could become great in your own field. If you're an IT, become the best in IT. If you're a doctor, become the best of your what you do. If you're an engineer, become the best of what you do. If you're an attorney, whatever, however, and wherever you are, keep a positive mind and attitude. Understand and learn about what's going around you. How do you obtain knowledge? Go get it, learn it, study it. Don't be superficial. Understand exactly what goes around you. Plan your future. Write it down. Get some help. Understand what makes you successful, your weaknesses, your strength. How do you make progress in life and have a career and a plan, whatever that career and a plan is, but you have to be happy about it and go execute. Start very small and start to build a habit that every time you do something, you have to finish it. Do not ever quit. Whether if you want to, that actually applies to anything. If you want to become stronger, if you want to lose weight, if you become healthier, if you're competing, if you're athletic, if you're in education, whatever your field is, become the best out of it because that's what we need. We need Muslims to be strong, faith, faithful, fair, just, good to everybody else. Let's show the world that Islam is peaceful religion. Islam is about helping others. Islam is kindness. Islam is peace, love, and inshallah, I look forward to seeing you on another one of those sessions. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.